Hey, it is Troy Stavros with CornerStone Realty Associates, and it is time for our monthly market update, looking at all of the data through the end of June, what has happened in the market, and what we think is going to be happening with the market moving forward. So let's not hesitate and let's jump in and start taking a look at the data from June. So when we look at East Tennessee as a whole, this is the entire East Tennessee area. Looking at the month of June and comparing June of 2025 to June of 2024, home sales in East Tennessee are up 8.6% compared to last year. Pending sales are up 20.4% compared to last year. The inventory of homes is still higher. It has been consistently all year, but it is up 36.1%. So there's 36.1% more homes on the market now than there was 1 year ago. New listings are up 10.4%, and the median sales price is pretty much the same as it was last year, just up 0.77%, coming in at $377,900 for all of East Tennessee, with the average sold price per square foot in East Tennessee coming in at $224 per square foot. So if you're wondering, what does that mean, price per square foot? I've had people ask me that. That means, on average, if you would take the square footage of a property and you multiplied that by 224, that would tell you basically what that sales price was. Or if you took the sales price of a home and you divided it by what the square footage was, then you would come up with the price per square foot. It just gives you a gauge as to what things are selling for in the area. The absorption rate increased to 4.64 months worth of inventory versus 4.51 months worth of inventory last month. So as we see the absorption rate increase, that means we're seeing either more inventory come on the market or less buyer demand, or a combination of the two. So it's probably a combination of the two. Granted, we know we're seeing more new listings, so 10.4% more new listings coming on the market. And we know inventory is up, but we also know demand is down a little bit as well. So both of those factors combining to the absorption rate rising. And as we rise closer to 5%, it's getting more into a buyer's market, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let's jump over and look at Knoxville specifically. So this is everything with a Knoxville address. Home sales, again, comparing June of 2025 to June of 2024, home sales are up in Knoxville 6.1%. Pending sales are up 19.5%. Inventory of homes is up just under 50%, so up 49.6%. New listings are up 4.1%. The median sales price in Knoxville compared to last year is up 3.72%. with the median sales price coming in at $420,000, with the average sold price per square foot in Knoxville coming in at $242 per square foot, with the absorption rate rising to 2.81 months worth of inventory versus 2.68 months the month prior. So again, we are seeing absorption rate increase, but still under 3 months worth of inventory, which is why we will see Knoxville sales and price increasing faster than East Tennessee as a whole. And we're going to go over that in 1 minute. So let's jump over and look at the specific data for East Tennessee, comparing East Tennessee to Knoxville and what is happening in the data in both areas. So if you're thinking of buying or selling a home in Knoxville or the East Tennessee region, the local real estate market is always evolving, and the latest data through June of 2025 will bring some important trends that you should know before making your next move. Knoxville, when we look at the data, is still a seller's market, but things are shifting. So Knoxville continues to lead the region as one of the hottest real estate markets in East Tennessee. Homes are selling faster and closer to list price than anywhere else in the region. The median sales price, as we said, came in at $420,000. That's up 3.7% compared to last year. The average days on the market in Knoxville are 40 days, which is still historically low. The sold to list price ratio is 97%, which means that sellers are still getting top dollar. And the absorption rate, again, 2.8 months worth of inventory, which is a healthy seller's market. So what does this mean for sellers? If you're considering selling your Knoxville home, now could be a great time. Well-priced, move-in ready homes are still seeing strong demand and quick sales. Inventory is rising slightly, but competition from buyers remains high in Knoxville, so pricing your home right and preparing it for showings can definitely help maximize your sale price. But what about buyers in Knoxville? Knoxville buyers should be prepared to act quickly when the right property hits the market. With competition still robust, getting pre-approved and working with a local agent will help you move fast and negotiate effectively. So how about East Tennessee? In East Tennessee as a whole, inventory is growing and there are more choices for buyers. The broader East Tennessee market is showing signs of cooling compared to its peak frenzy. This shift brings both opportunities and considerations for buyers and sellers. In East Tennessee as a whole, the median sales price, $377,900, up just a little bit over last year. The average days on the market in East Tennessee, 60 days. That's up from 44 days 1 year ago. The absorption rate in Knoxville is 4.6 months, which is moving towards a more balanced market. And the average list price is $611,146. So for buyers in East Tennessee, there are more homes to choose from than last year, and sellers are more open to negotiation. This is the most buyer-friendly market that we've seen in years. So if you've been waiting for less competitive conditions, now may be your opportunity. For sellers in East Tennessee, it's still a good time to sell, but patience and the right pricing strategy are essential. With more homes on the market, buyers have options. So making your home stand out is more important than ever. Staging, repairs, and competitive pricing can help your home sell faster. So let's compare the two, Knoxville versus East Tennessee, and look at the key differences. First off is speed of sale. Knoxville homes sell 20 days faster on average than the rest of East Tennessee. And pricing power. Knoxville sellers see higher median and average sale prices. What about market balance? Knoxville remains a solid seller's market, while East Tennessee is moving towards a more balanced market with more negotiating room for buyers. So should you buy or sell now? If you're a seller in Knoxville, you can still take advantage of strong prices and fast sales, but don't delay. Rising inventory means more competition is on the horizon. If you're a buyer in East Tennessee, you finally have more options and negotiating power. Take the time to find the right home, but be ready to act when you find it. Get expert local help, and that will make the difference. See, whether you're buying or selling, the right strategy is key in today's market. Our team lives and works right here in East Tennessee and in Knoxville. We know the neighborhoods, the trends, and how to get you the best results. So if you're thinking about making a move, contact us today for a free market analysis, a custom home search, or just to talk about your options in the Knoxville and East Tennessee real estate market. Okay, how about predictions for where the Knoxville and East Tennessee real estate markets are going in the third quarter? So as we enter the third quarter, here's some predictions. Inventory will continue to rise. In East Tennessee, expect further increases in active listings. Seasonal patterns and the current momentum suggest more homeowners will list, especially as those who delayed selling during the spring jump-in. Now in Knoxville, inventory will grow but at a slower pace than the broader region. New construction and move-up sellers will add to choices, but demand will keep absorption rates relatively low. What does this mean? It means buyers will enjoy more options, but sellers will face more competition. Days on the market will edge higher. In East Tennessee, as inventory builds, average days on the market could reach 65 to 70 days by late third quarter. Homes will take longer to sell, especially those that are overpriced or need work. In Knoxville specifically, days on the market will likely edge up but remain below 50 days, still a quick pace historically. So what does that mean? It means that sellers must price competitively and present homes well to attract buyers. Buyers may have slightly more negotiating power. What about prices? Prices will stabilize and see only modest gains. In East Tennessee, median sales prices are likely to plateau or increase only slightly. With more inventory and longer selling times, aggressive price growth is unlikely. In Knoxville, sales prices may hold steady with a slight upward bias, driven by continued strong demand and limited supply of turnkey homes in desirable neighborhoods. So what does this mean? Don't expect dramatic price drops, but sellers should not anticipate bidding wars or big price jumps either. How about negotiation? Negotiation will increase, especially outside of Knoxville. In East Tennessee, expect more price reductions and seller concessions, closing costs, repairs, rate buy-downs. Buyers can shop around and negotiate more assertively. But in Knoxville, some negotiation will return, but sellers of move-in ready homes in top locations will still command strong offers. What about the mortgage rates and affordability? Those remain wild cards. If mortgage rates tick down, pent-up buyer demand could surge, especially in Knoxville, temporarily tightening the market. If rates stay flat or rise, expect steady but not surging activity. The bottom line is in the third quarter of 2025, Knoxville will remain a resilient market with strong demand, quick sales for well-priced homes, and stable prices. In East Tennessee is a bigger region. It will trend more towards balance, with buyers gaining leverage, sellers facing more competition, and prices stabilizing. Both markets will reward strategic buyers and sellers, those who prepare, price, and negotiate effectively. Tips for buyers and sellers? Sellers, price right from the start, invest in curb appeal, and be ready for negotiations. Buyers, take advantage of growing inventory, but move quickly on standout properties, especially in Knoxville. Let's jump and take a look real quick. Speaking of Knoxville, I always like to look at this data because this data is week to week. So the data that we've looked at so far is through the end of June, but this looks right up until last Friday. So one thing that we always want to keep a look at when we're looking at active data is what's going on in the different price segments. So when we break up price segments, it breaks it into 25 percentiles. So 4 different price segments, a low price segment, then 2 middle price segments, and then the top tier price segment. When we look at those, the market action index is what tells us whether a market is more of a buyer's market or a seller's market. When we look at the price segments here and look at the market action index, you can see that the hottest market in Knoxville right now is the lowest price segment. In that segment, the median price is $279,900. In that segment, you get about 1,200 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, home's probably about 73 years old. And in that segment, 26 new listings came on the market last week. And last week, 57 were absorbed. So quite a few more were absorbed than new came on the market. So that shows you the demand that is in that price segment. The next one showing the most demand is the next one up, that $399,900 as the median price. In that price segment, you can expect to get about 1,856 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a home around 30 years old. In that segment, we saw 33 new listings come on the market last week and 50 be absorbed. Again, good demand in that segment. One thing to keep in mind, though, especially when we are looking at last week, is last week was the first week after the July 4th holiday. So you will see some more action in the market the week after a holiday because a lot of times people stop looking or aren't as active in the market during a holiday week. So you can see some additional sales happen the following week, which is what we could be seeing here. The next segment up comes in at $549,900. In that segment, with the median price at $549,900, you can expect to get a home that's about 2,558 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, about 22 years old. In that segment, we saw 30 new listings come on the market last week and 28 get absorbed. So there's still demand there. And then in the highest price segment, that median price comes in at $899,900. In that segment, you can expect to get about 3620 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, a home that's around 20 years old. In that segment, we saw 26 new listings come on the market and 21 get absorbed. So still demand there as well. And you can see over here on the right are the days on the market for the active listings in those segments. And it's pretty even across the board as far as days on the market. You got 42, 42, 42, and 49. And you can always expect the highest price segment to have a little bit more days on the market before things get sold, but pretty consistent across the board there. One other thing before we jump off of this is I want to take a look at price decreases, and you can see which segments are having the most price decreases. So interestingly enough, the hottest segment, which is the lowest price segment, is also having the most price decreases. So as of last week, the lowest price segment shows that 46.56% of the homes currently active on the market in that lowest price segment have had a price reduction. And then they're all hovering right around that 43, 44 to 46% mark of homes having price reductions. So we are definitely seeing price reductions across the market, where almost half of the homes on the market have had a price reduction. So that just speaks a little bit to the demand in the market. While we always are going to have demand in Knoxville, things would definitely ramp up if affordability got better. And the only way for affordability to get better is either for prices to drop, which is not going to happen, or for interest rates to drop, which is what we're hoping for. So we need to keep an eye on interest rates. And speaking of interest rates, where are they as of today? When we look at today, as of today, they are 6.85% for a 30-year loan. Still high. If we could see interest rates drop down to this range here, under 6.5, but especially if we could get to 6 or 6.25, I think we would see quite a bit more action in the market. We'd see a lot of buyers come out of the woodwork because there's many buyers right now that are just priced out of the market because of high prices and high interest rates. So one of those has got to give to allow more people back into the market. All right, let's take a quick look at what's happening in the surrounding counties, and then we will finish up. So surrounding counties, looking at Roane County, available inventory in Roane County was up 21.1% compared to a year ago. Pending sales in Roane County up 46.2%. Which is a big number for pending sales. The median sales price in Roane County was up just a little bit compared to a year ago, 0.13%, and coming in at $338,940, with the median sold price per square foot in Roane County coming in at $186 per square foot. In Knox County, we saw the available inventory up 47.5% compared to a year ago. Pending sales were up 19.3%. The median sales price in Knox County was up 2.76% and came in at $410,000, with the median sold price per square foot in Knox County coming in at $241 per square foot. In Anderson County, available inventory was up 32.9%. Pending sales were up 12.9%, and the median sales price in Anderson County was up 12.91%. Quite a jump there, with the median sold price per square foot coming in at $205 per square foot. In Loudoun County, available inventory was up 54.5%, with pending sales up 24%, and the median sales price in Loudoun County up 5.24%, coming in at $542,000, with the median sold price per square foot in Loudoun County coming in at $255 per square foot. In Sevier County, available inventory was up 16.7%. Pending sales were down 14.5% in Sevier County, and the median sales price was down 14.91%, compared to a year ago, coming in at $450,000, with a median sold price per square foot in Sevier County coming in at $255 per square foot. That's probably the lowest that we have seen it for a long time. So obviously, pending sales are down, median sales price is down, median sold price per square foot is down. So obviously, the market is cooling significantly in Sevier County and has been for quite some time, simply because this is an area that is rife with investment property. And when interest rates are high, people don't typically buy investment properties. So they're harder to sell. Thus, we're seeing lower median sale price, lower pending sales, and the median sold price per square foot going down. In Blount County, available inventory is up 35.6%. Pending sales are up 38.3%. And the median sales price in Blount County is down 3.64%, coming in at $395,000, with the median sold price per square foot coming in at $219 per square foot. So, again, a lot of information, but as you can see, there isn't a whole lot of volatility happening in our market right now. I think a lot of people are just waiting to see what is going on with the economy and with tariffs and different things like that. Everyone's just still a little bit nervous, but sales are still happening, especially in Knoxville, especially for homes that are well taken care of in good locations. Those properties are still selling quickly. But as you can see in the outlying areas, it's taking longer to sell, so it's important to market your property correctly. If we can help you do that, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, whether you need a market analysis on your home to find out what it's worth, or whether you need help trying to search for the home that is right for you. Reach out. We'd love to help you. This is Troy Stavros with CornerStone Realty Associates here in Knoxville. Have a great day.